My name is Harry, and I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here. Now, this is the tweet that somehow bring the lazy of all lazies into the mix. Alright, September 7, 2024, Katia gave exclusive to British media about her future. British media, they zipped, pretty much closed their mouth. September 7, 2024, Meghan gives speech at ultra-private event in California, 5,000 miles away. British media, her timing is disrespectful and her husband wouldn't have allowed it. Me, just laughing, meaning the person who posted that. So what's this about? Exclusive, after months of cancer treatment, the Princess of Wales is now planning for the future. Kate hopes to join the royal family at the cenotaph and host her Christmas carol. Oh God, when was that? There's no date. It's just said one day, but it's a screenshot. I don't follow them, so I don't know. If you go under their nonsense, you probably will see the exact date. That's from the Time. Okay, she retweeted the Time, Warrior Naker. Okay, work is on her mind, but any return will be gradual. My royal read. Oh, so she wrote her nonsense and she retweeted. No wonder why she put the screenshot only. I see why. Okay, so the screenshot again, probably from that article. So there's no reason to search for it. While I can acknowledge the Sussexes when they get things right, they've unfortunately made yet another boo-boo. I mean, according to these crazies, Harry and Meghan will never do anything crazy enough to their level meaning the royal rats, to fit the narrative that they want. Okay, last night, Meghan Markle gave a speech at an Oprah Winfrey Book Club event in California where Prince Harry's controversial memoir, Spare, was prominently on display. Oh my God, her book, I have to look at some of the other pictures that I was seeing from the previous tweet to see in the background if Spare was somehow in the background. Her book was also rumored to have been on shelf. Oh my God. The timing of Meghan's appearance raises eyebrows as it occurred on the eve of the second anniversary of the late Queen Elizabeth II passing. It feels like a terribly disrespectful move to me. This is where they cannot be sued because she said to me. That's her opinion. It is hard to believe Harry would have allowed it to happen. What the hell? Oh my God, it just brings me the connection with Jeremy Clarkson. This is why Jeremy Clarkson apologized to Harry instead of Meghan after he wrote his nonsense. That was a couple years ago. What, 2 or was it last year? Oh my God, these people are ridiculous. So Meghan's supposed to ask permission to do what she did. What the hell? And what was the other thing that came to mind? Hard to believe Harry will allow this. Oh, I forgot the chain of thought. After all, it was supposed to have been... Oh, now I remember. I don't even think last year they even talk about the anniversary of the Queen's death. And I think some of the squad brought it up. So now that Meghan is out on the eve of, and I think it's today, isn't it? When did the Queen die? Let's look it up. Okay, that was yesterday, the eve, yesterday. So did the people in the UK did anything to celebrate the Queen's death? They didn't. So we are a day. I'm recording this the day after the anniversary of her death. But did the UK did anything? Because I remember last year, where is it? When Harry was in the UK, he stopped at the church to show respect to the Queen. I remember the picture of Harry coming out of the church. Harry was able to show some sort of respect on the first year of her death. But did the UK did anything? on the second year. Who knows? Maybe Harry did something when he went to the UK to the funeral of the uncle. Who knows? Maybe he did. Nobody knew. But anyway, let me finish with that. After all, he was supposed to have been the late Queen's favorite grandson, and they adore each other. I know I would have had far more respect for the anniversary of my late grandmother's death. Whatever, woman. Whatever. Because after all, Harry is a private citizen. He is not obligated to let people in on anything that he does for his grandmother. Alright, so it's none of our business what he did. If he did, that's great. If he didn't, guess what? None of our business. But like I was just saying, did the UK did anything since last year? They saw Harry show respect to the Queen by, going to the church, and who knows what he did in there. Nobody knew, but they saw Harry coming out. They didn't even know Harry was in the UK. Because I think they were expecting Harry to fly to, is it Germany or something? But on the day after he did whatever event he was doing, he was coming out of the church where the Queen supposedly be buried. All right, let me read some of the comment. It was a super private event. There was no media, perhaps invited, or no official pictures released. It was last night. The only one making it a big deal is the media. The event also happened in a completely different country, 5,000 miles, and 8-hour time difference away. Besides, the woman is dead. You don't stop living, because that's what I was saying. You don't stop living because she isn't. You pay your respect privately and keep it moving like everyone else. Yeah, like I was saying. What is what the hell is this? September 7. Okay. They were literally bragging about the tender being out in the same day. Really? The kids are kicking each other. She's been dead 2 years and they ain't doing shit to remember. That's the thing that I was saying. Did they do anything to remember her? They probably didn't even remember when she died. Oh my God. Okay, she's been dead 2 years and they ain't doing shit to remember on that island, and it ain't even the day she died. Okay, let's see here. Not another royal sibling spot. My tender leaps into action to break up play fight between daughter Lena 6 and son Lucas 3 as family cheers on Zara at Burgley Horse trial. The kids are fighting. I mean, these are just kids, okay? There's nothing wrong with it, but oh my God, it looks like it's real fight. Look at the look at the little boy jump on the girl too, and there's Mike pulling them over, and there's this lady looking at, oh my God. My Tendo and his children, Mia, Lena, and Lucas arrived to cheer on Zara. The picture is laughable. Okay, let's see here. The chorus were also out yesterday to once again the rule only applies to Meghan that said godmothers should have some grand promotion in Britain tomorrow. Oh my God, there's more nonsense. In case you missed it, the King and Queen were among spectators at the Bremer gathering today. Thousands of people descend on the village every year for the Highland Games event. This weekend marks 2 years since the death of Queen Elizabeth II, who was patron of the gathering. BBC, there's that. King and Queen enjoy Bremer Highland Games, BBC. These people are living their best life. Not 1 second they thought of the Queen. Yeah. Let me leave that. What is that? These are the other events these people were doing. Not one thing was said about the Queen's death. Let me see here. Hell, they were at the Olympics yesterday and not a peep about that dead lady anniversary. Oh my God. So let's give these props at least. So they were supporting the Paralympics, but they weren't there to support the Invictus. Let's give some credit where credit is due at least. Okay, the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh have been cheering on Paralympics Great Britain at Paris 2024. Their Royal Highnesses visited the Paralympic Village on Wednesday, touring Paralympics Great Britain's facilities, meeting athletes, and spending time with support staff. All right, let's give credit where credit is due. And at the same time, none of them were able to support the Invictus. Okay, partial credit, I would say. All right, exactly. So it's clear it's not what was done, it's who did it and how much access the British press had. All right, okay, so that's the ad, and after this, that's it. Okay, nope, as long as the British media has no access, every day will be a problematic, and I will enjoy every moment of their meltdown. Yeah, I mean, even if they had access, they will still find something. It's Harry already knows them if they do, them if they don't. So they're living their best life the best way that they know how, and the others are doing the same thing too. They didn't even mention the Queen. All right, next tweet. They're losing their collective on Troll Island. The timing Princess Ada Mazzy step out on the wrong day of the week again. The squad are laughing about it. All right, so there's this here. Let's pause this GIF. Did Queen Elizabeth hate book? I don't understand the problem. Of course, I never understood the problem because the problem is stupid. The problem is and will forever be Meghan. Her existence, her autonomy, her continued success, and her unwillingness to be their dancing puppet. Exactly. Even a bookstore showcase Harry and Meghan book, or Meghan casually attending a book club overshadowing the dead queen. Currently Palace Ho, Chucky racist fingers. Oh my god, the naming. Cancer streaking racist liar, and mentally unstable Willie the bully. I'm laughing at the name. Unstable Willie the bully, just one day alone. Gosh, they are all completely effed. Okay, these guys are just weird. Okay, Harry and Meghan have easily overshadowed the leftovers with a video and a bookstore opening just so easy. That's an ad. After this, that's it. The desperation is real with them people on Shadow Island. We need to vote in the US. Vote, vote, vote. And hopefully there will be something done here, because it seems like they're transferring that stuff to our current vice president. Like I show at the beginning of this video. All right, next tweet. We will never forget how the royal family and tabloid almost destroyed this story family before it even got started, all because of jealousy, hate, control, and selfishness. We now know about the sickness that plagued the institution. Meghan, we are sorry. Keep shining bright. Harry, there's that here. Let's see that.
For a charity event. She was 6 months pregnant at the time. What perhaps people don't understand is earlier that evening, Meghan decided to share with me the suicidal thoughts and the practicalities of how she was going to end her life. The scariest thing for her was her clarity of thought. She hadn't lost it. She wasn't crazy. She wasn't self-medicating, be it through pills or through alcohol. She was absolutely sober. She was completely sane. Yet, in the quiet of night, these thoughts woke her up.
Okay, this is to the level that they want to bring her, and this is why she ignored them. This is why she ignored them.
The thing that stopped her from seeing it through was how unfair it would be on me. After everything that had happened to my mum, and to now be put in a position of losing another woman in my life, with a baby inside of her, our baby. I'm somewhat ashamed of the way that I dealt with it. And of course, because of the system that we were in and the responsibilities and the duties that we had a quick cuddle.
And by the way, the system that they have in the UK, as Harry just mentioned, because of the system that they have, the last video that I edited, and I think I'm going to put that portion that I'm making reference to by itself in another video. Oh, I think that's the one that I'm uploading right now. Where is it? It's showing right here at the back. Oh, shoot. The upload is complete. It's showing at the side. Let me go in the content. Where the institution, the people, that's one of these videos. I didn't do the thumbnails yet. The government is inching the peerage. I think there are a group of people in the parliament who's there because of their birthright. Okay, they're inching. I think they said there's 92 of them in the whatever in Parliament who's there only by birthright. And from an article or screenshot that I read, and I think they get 340 something pounds per day when they show up. Okay, so the current government, Labour, I think, are inching to get rid of them. So that's the system. And from what I've learned, I think during Tony Blair's prime minister years, there were, I believe, 800 of them, either 800 or 900, I don't remember. And during his time, he reduced them to the number that they have now, and I believe it's 92. And now the current system is trying to get rid of it. Okay, the peerage thing, whatever it goes. And I went on a rant because I don't fully understand how laws and things are made in the UK. So I had an issue there. And I went and Googled some stuff or whatever. So it's my opinion. So they're not that facts. I just take you along with the process of what I was thinking. And then the thing that I said in that video, you're going to see it twice because that portion is going to be by itself and it's going to be in the long recording, the hour long. I said they're going after the royal family next. And this is why some of them are upset. They don't want that to happen because they're inching up toward the royal family to get rid of them. Okay? So this is what this make me thought about. And the other thing as well, Harry and Meghan are the blueprint. If the royal family are complaining when they do get rid of them, because it seems like, they didn't say it, but it seems like they will get to them eventually. Once they get to them and they get rid of the royal family to be in any mix within the government system, when they start complaining, they're gonna say, there's Harry and Meghan. They were under your roof. You got rid of them. You took their security. You made them go and live life without a penny. And they made it. You cannot complain to them anymore. If Harry and Meghan could do it, guess what? You too can do it. Go find yourself a job and do what you need to do to survive. So Harry and Meghan are the blueprint. And I said the royal family just effed themselves up for what they did to Harry and Meghan. And then in that video again, I put the video where Oprah was asking them a question. I forgot how the question was articulate. And Harry and Meghan was saying, I'm paraphrasing, that they were trying to protect them and the steps that they took, legally and the proper way to make it, concrete that they truly did not want them there. Okay, so Harry and Meghan were trying to protect them, to let them know that what you're doing to them is wrong.
So in conclusion, if you'd had the support, you'd still be there?
Without question.
Yeah.
I'm sad that what's happened has happened, but I know and I'm comfortable knowing that we did everything that we could to make it work, and we did everything on the exit process the way that it should have been
with
done.
As much respect.
With as much
and,
respect.
Oh my God, we just did everything we could to protect them.
Because eventually they will come after you. So right now, I think we are in the process. The discussion of the processing of how they're going to get rid of the royal family, it starts already. Because if Parliament had 900 or 800 of them in Parliament, and all of them, it seems like they were getting paid. I don't know if the amount was the same as the 340 something pound that the 92 of them are getting. If they're trying to get rid of them, the next step, once they get rid of them, they're going to go after the royal family. So they are in the process right now. So let's continue with that.
And then we had to get changed. I had to jump in a convoy with a police escort and drive to the Royal Albert Hall for a charity event. And then step out into a wall of cameras and pretend as though everything's okay.
Wow.
There wasn't an option to say, you know what, tonight we're not going to go. Because just imagine the stories that come from that.
And this is the thing. When you see people, you do not know what's going on in their mind. This is why people need to be very careful how they interact with other people. You just don't know. And some people, depend on what's going in their mind, they snap, they do certain things. There needs to be a level of respect and understanding. I mean, Harry and Meghan get it, but the evildoers, they just want to stir things. They want to create chaos. Oh my God, evil did, like I said, I'm being proved right every day that evil originated in the UK. Let's continue. Wow.
While my wife and I were in those chairs, gripping each other's hand, the moment the lights go down, Meghan starts crying. I'm feeling sorry for her, but I'm also really angry with myself that we're stuck in this situation.
Wow.
I was ashamed that it got this bad. I was ashamed to go to my family. Because to be honest with you, like a lot of other people my age could probably relate to, I know that I'm not going to get from my family what I need.
I think, oh, it's done. I was gonna pause. But I think it's mostly Harry's family. Most caring family will try to help. Okay? It's just the royal family. So there they are, they left. They're living their best life because they laughing, smiling, dancing. They do not want that for them. That's not what they want. They want them to be in misery, distress, and crying, anger, and all of that. They want the negative side of life for them. But Harry and Meghan said, nope, you're not gonna do that to me. Them laughing in Colombia, happy, dancing, nope, they don't want that. They don't want that for them. These people are evil. Oh, so there's me here. 2 people like it and 2 retweet. Let me pause by. Sadly to say, God had to use them to shed light on the evil royal family. They tried to tarnish her reputation, pay people to speak ill versus them, meaning against them. Despite taking her to court, her reputation remains clean. Light had to be shed on the devil to show the people their action. In return, lesson learned. I was running out of character, so I had to put abbreviation instead of me putting a long thread just to write my thought. Okay, so pretty much light had to be shed on the devils to show people their action. In return, lesson learned. We're not going back. Okay, so there's no more comment. I'm the only one who responded to that. So let's go to the next tweet. And that was 8 hours ago, and I thought I would see more comments. When I first saw it, let's see. 8 hours ago, September 8th, yeah. When I first saw it, I thought there would be more comment. Alright, so let's see this one now. Prime example of the UK tabloid and royal meltdown and attacks whenever Harry and Meghan are associated with new or high-profile people. They want them isolated, broke, destitute. This is what I was saying. The opposite of the happiness that Harry and Meghan were displaying in Colombia. Nope, they do not want that for them. Alright, broke and destitute, and so they can maintain full control of them. Royal family are allergic to independence. Alright, let's see this. 2 minutes and 20 seconds. There will be a screenshot, okay?
And so, yeah, of course that breeds loneliness when you've come from such a full life, or when you've come from freedom. You know, I didn't know who to even turn to in that. And one of the people that I reached out to, who's continued to be a friend and confidant, was one of my husband's mom's best friends, one of Diana's best friends. Because it's like, who else could understand what's actually like on the inside?
Did you ever think about going to a hospital, or is that possible that you can check yourself in someplace?
No, that's what I was asking to do.
Yeah.
You can't just do that. I couldn't, call an Uber to the palace.
Yeah.
You couldn't just go. You couldn't, you have to understand as well, it's when I joined that family, that was the last time until we came here that I saw my passport, my driver's license, my keys, all that gets turned over. I didn't see any of that anymore.
For Meghan, who was used to
Let me pause for a second. I'm going to move it back. Now, any new, or let's say a foreigner who marry into the institution, Meghan is giving you all the blueprint. How dare them take her passport and her keys? Okay, fine. They could take her keys, but her passport is her passport. Even though now she was in that society, in that family where I guess the passport will be her face, but that should be hers. She should not turn it over. Let's continue.
That anymore.
For Meghan, who was used to so much freedom, this had to be jarring. But for Harry, this was just how life was.
That's true.
I'd never asked to be financially dependent on Pa. I'd been forced into this surreal state, this unending Truman Show, in which I almost never carried money, never owned a car, never carried a house key, never once ordered anything online, never received a single box from Amazon, almost never travelled on the underground. Once, at Eton, on a theatre trip. Sponge, the papers called me. But there's a big difference between being a sponge and being prohibited from learning independence.
Wow.
After decades of being rigorously and systematically infantilized, I was now abruptly abandoned and mocked for being immature, for not standing on my own 2 feet.
Even after
Wow.
Harry and Meghan left, because the firm had had so much control over Harry his entire life, and they knew that he had had limited access to the outside world, they never expected him and Meghan to succeed. Most members of the...
I mean, that's true. What this TikToker is saying, she's 100% correct. But the only thing is, Meghan was on the outside, and she married into the royal family after she had been successful, did all her struggles outside of the institution. What did they expect? If Harry was by himself, maybe. But with Meghan by his side, now you have a strong, hard worker, articulate, smart, and all of that. And she's been in the public eyes for most of her adult life. So what did they expect? So yeah, definitely Diana had to, the universe, whatever the universe did to get Meghan to Harry, this is what Harry needed to get out. Okay, let me move it back slightly. Let's listen.
The firm had had so much control over Harry his entire life, and they knew that he had had limited access to the outside world. They never expected him and Meghan to succeed.
And the other thing as well is that when they were leaving, I still have that screenshot of the cartoon where Meghan and Harry, was it Harry or something, was begging. That's a image they create. This is what they expect of them. And then there's one where Harry is working at McDonald's. So they pretty much thought wrong. God was like, or Princess Diana in heaven was like, not on her watch. She's not gonna let her baby boy suffer outside. And then there's the other thing as well. Harry is very smart. When the institution was sending him places that the other royals did not want to go.
I think that, look, lots of people say that, oh, your job of traveling the world is wonderful. Of course it's wonderful. But when we get sent to some countries, we don't always get to see the beautiful parts. We're always there trying to deal with some of the issues, but also doing everything we can to bring people together.
Harry was creating his contact. Why do you think he was able to create Santa Bali and all the other things he did prior meeting Meghan? So Harry was already succeeding without the institution. I will not say without. No, it's not without, because it was to the connection. When they're sending him, he was able to meet different people and all of that. But with his brilliance, to be able to stay in connection with the people he was meeting, and then be able to, create things that was in his mind. All those brilliant people that he interact with when he has an idea, like for instance Travelers, he had the idea and he created, it's the same blueprint with Invictus but different focus. For Invictus, the focus is to get the military personnel in a place where they could get help, you name it, whatever help they need, mental, physical, and all of that. Okay, so he create the blueprint of getting those expertise to come in to help the vets. Okay, so that's Invictus. Now with Travelers, with travel, same blueprint. Get all those experts who's good at traveling thing and whatever, get them in one place and do the the thing that Travelers does.
Travelers will be in New York for Climate Week, celebrating our 5th anniversary. Since we launched in 2019, we have brought together 11 of the world's biggest and often competing travel and technology brands to work together on bringing sustainable tourism to the mainstream.
You know, our mental health campaign, Heads Together, back in the UK is a classic example. We were able to bring together 8 mental health charities that have been working in the sector for many, many, many years. But being able to bring them together and say, right, you guys have never sat around a table together and discussed the main issues. What we want to be able to do now is, through our foundation, create a platform in which your expertise and your experience is elevated.
And now Travelers has become a $3 trillion coalition.
Today we are a $3 trillion coalition, guided by our independent advisory group of world-renowned sustainability academics and experts. We're really looking forward to being in New York with our founder, Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, to celebrate everything that we have achieved together so far and sharing our vision for what's to come next.
Because of Harry's brilliance. Okay, so Harry, as much as Harry, he had said it himself. I do not have the clip where he said it, but he's not a book person where he's sitting in the classroom and all of that. He's more of a hands-on. This is why he went in the military. He knew himself. He wasn't shying away of the person that he is. So he knew what he's good at and he concentrated on it. And things that he's not good at, hey, you could mark him all you want. He knows he's not good at it. So with his brilliance and ideas that he have, he brings those experts, those people who sit in school for years to be expert of whatever their respective fields are.
Today we are a $3 trillion coalition, guided by our independent advisory group of world-renowned sustainability academics and experts. Guided by our independent advisory group of world-renowned sustainability academics and experts. Sustainability academics and experts.
And bring them together and create something magical. Alright? But the difference between Harry and his brother, the brother pretend that he is smart, or maybe they put nonsense in his head. Maybe he think he is smart, but the display of his brilliance doesn't sound well to regular people. It just come out as stupid. So whatever he considered brilliant, that's the leftover brother, Toby, does not display normalcy. It displays some sort of a weirdness or stupidity. And he thinks it's the best thing that ever happened in this world, I think, in my humble opinion. But Harry knows himself. So through that, through the royal family, sending him places that they don't want to go, because they didn't really consider Harry as anything. He's just a body, a sperm donor that created to, and they want to use him as a scapegoat. But meanwhile, Harry was the brilliant, the smartest royal in the institution. Who knows? I don't want to say it, but maybe more smarter than the queen, because I don't know what the queen have done. Maybe she did so many things because I don't follow them and I didn't go. All I know is colonialism. Certain thing had happened and continue to happen under her watch. She didn't about it. But there's Harry, who understands the situation, who knows his family background, what they did, and he's trying to pursue it in a different way, because it wasn't him who did it. It was his ancestors who did the thing, but he's moving forward in a respectable way and not repeating what his ancestors did. Harry is a perfect model of what current white people could look at and not to seem like they're the one who did what their forefathers did. Right now, there's some of them who's repeating the same thing that their forefathers did in a different way. But Harry is pursuing, moving forward in a different way. So Harry is a perfect model for that. So I went to different branch of things. I'm sorry. Let me move. Okay, let me move it back. But I think the thing that the person said was done. She was moving to a different topic. I move it back, but let's continue.
Sure. For not standing on my own 2 feet.
Even after Harry and Meghan left, because the firm had had so much control over Harry his entire life, and they knew that he had had limited access to the outside world, they never expected him and Meghan to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
Most members of the institution have very few life skills, little financial literacy, and no actual work history. But Harry and Meghan had doors open for them that the firm...
There's one part here, something financial literacy. And this is something, I mean, I'm not an expert, okay? I probably need help myself, okay? But for those people who's dealing with millions and millions of dollars that's coming in, bags full of money. And I said, one of the things that many of these warriors should do when they go to college, one of the things they should study is financial. I've said that before. Because it seems like they do not know the value of money because so much have been given to them, piles and millions coming to them. I don't even think they know how to manage it. If they have, I don't know, 10 pounds, will they know how to stretch it to make it last one day at least? And this is why I said they were training Harry without even knowing, because they were not giving Harry much. I don't know how Harry get money. We just read we just heard from the from his book Spare, where he was saying he never had kids, he never had this money or whatever. But we saw him coming out of one of those stores, and I think the squad at one point last year, they made note of it, where he's buying on things that were on sale. So he knows how to somewhat stretch whatever money I guess his father was giving him. I don't know how it works over there. Okay, so he knows how to be on a budget. So they were training Harry without even knowing. Okay, despite the fact that they were, you know, that high society, because the monarch have control of things. And the way that I used to interpret how the system work in the UK and the royal family is that you have the queen who has all the money coming in, and then she takes care of each of her kids. Charles has his own, maybe not Charles. Let's remove Charles because Charles is the heir. He had the what William has now, something Duchy of Cornwall. Okay, so that's where Charles' money will come from. And then through that to the Duchy of Cornwall, whichever financial that Charles is getting, and he will be giving William and Harry money to take care of themselves. But in the Duchess and the Spare, Charles was already telling Harry he doesn't have money for Meghan. But I don't know how this will be matter if he was already giving Harry money. Whatever money Harry was getting from the father, that's how Harry will be dealing with Meghan. So that's that. But to go back to how the queen, you know, the financial things spread to the royal family, the queen is the top, and I think, I'm just giving my humble opinion, give her kids, with excluding Charles, which I just explained, Anne, what's the other one, Edward, and what's the son, Andrew, okay, and then whatever money those siblings have, Andrew, Anne, and Edward, then they will give it to their respective kids. That's how I see it going. It trickle down, further down, and so forth, so on. Unless each one of them have their own businesses to do on the side or whatever. And we've seen some of Anne's kids, the son, doing milk advertisement for some Chinese thing or whatever. So all of this. But when Meghan came out to the picture, out of nowhere, Charles already said there's no money for her. So now that they're out, Harry and Meghan are out, Harry was already learning the basic of financial because they were being stingy with him. So he was able to take care of himself outside of the institution. And they didn't expect that from him. Now they're pissed. Now he's $1 trillion kind of man walking.
Today we are a $3 trillion coalition.
All right, but let's continue. Moving back again. Oh my God, I took too long on this.
Succeed. Most members of the institution have very few life skills, little financial literacy, and no actual work history. But Harry and Meghan had doors open for them that the firm did not account for, which ultimately allowed for their escape.
Okay, the door that's open for them is to their work. A lot of doors could open for a lot of people. Once you get through the door, do you know what to do with it? Do you know what to do with it? Do you take advantage of it, or you just sit down and expect the next door to open for you? And then let's not forget, Meghan was already out there. She had a lot of friends. Without some of her friends, who knows what would have happened? Even while she was in the UK, her 5 friends who who spoke to People magazine because they saw things that were not normal with Meghan's kind of way of life. So they spoke out. So Meghan had already established her connection outside of the institution, was already there for her. And this is what helps Harry as well. Okay, so that's that. Okay, the racists can wish what they want, but as Prince Harry has said many times before, he and his beautiful princess wife Meghan and his amazing children Prince Archie and Princess Lily will be living their own lives free from any royals protocol. So let the racists scream. All right, so let's go to the next tweet. I can't believe this. I took too long with this tweet and it didn't have that much. Next tweet. This is what I like with many of Harry and Meghan supporters. Whichever platform they are, they spitting truth. This TikToker is another one. I'm not on TikTok and I don't plan on being on TikTok. As I mentioned the TikTok, I posted something on my community board. Let me see if I see it. I believe it's this one, not that one. Midas Touch, I believe. Yeah. So they are on TikTok as well. So going through some stuff. All right, so this is a side note here. Okay, so this is the post that I posted on my community board because I've shared with you what's going on in the background with my channels and all of that. This is so much bigger. There's no way if I hire someone to look into that, it's just money going down the drain because this thing is huge. Okay, what from my perspective, it's huge. It's bigger than anybody could handle. And I don't have that much money. It's not like I'm making any money on YouTube where that financial aspect could help support or backed up the investigation. So I don't even want to go into my private account to spend money to look into that because it is huge. It is way more than what we are seeing. This is something for the government, a trusted government. Okay, the FBI, if we have a trusted FBI to look into. Okay, so this is what I wrote here. I'm not on TikTok. Look at what has happened to Midas Touch. That's one of the biggest YouTube channel that talks about politics in the US, what's going on with Trump, and keep people informed with Trump debacles. All right, because mainstream media is not talking about it, but they do. All right, look what has happened to Midas Touch TikTok account. Things will get more crazier as we get closer to November. Like I said earlier, post today, this is much, much bigger than what it seemed. As crazy this may sound, I'm not proud to say it, since November 6th is not here yet, okay? Election is November 5th. November 6th will be the day after election. That's what I mean here. Thank God the other side has a dumb leader. That's you know who. And people are seeing what's happening. Anyway, I thought I shared this with you. This is huge. Okay? So this is Midas Touch thing here. But still much of our content is still blocked in the wake of our ban. So they ban Midas Touch, whatever it is that they're talking about. They don't want people to know the truth. From my understanding, TikTok is is a Chinese kind of thing. All of those bad guys around the world, they're betting on Trump to win. They do not want Kamala to win. Okay? So if Kamala wins, there's going to be some sort of a law and order that's going to happen. They don't want that. They want things to run freely where they could do whatever they want. Like Trump had said, he wants to be a dictator for the first time he got in power. Okay? So what do dictators do? They do whatever they want without any prosecution. And then the Supreme Court had given Trump the green light. So at the same time, as much as we may be scary of that, if we don't vote properly comes November and the Supreme Court give Trump that, it will be years before we get out of that. Now, the good thing with that though, look who we have in power now. If things is going sour and they want this to go to the Supreme Court, we already know how the Supreme Court will rule on, let's say if the election goes to the Supreme Court. Then now, since the Supreme Court give president could be free from prosecution, there's Biden there and he's not running. So he could be a dictator for one day to put law and order and have the court, have the votes count and say, no, it's not going to go to the Supreme Court. We going to count the votes, how people vote now. Because the Supreme Court give president full immunity from prosecution. Now, if the Republican are doing their nonsense, okay, preventing people from voting and do all those voting suppression and all of that, and then and there's dispute with the vote, now the Supreme Court give Biden, they say president. And who is the president? President Biden. He could say no. Those votes, he could act like a dictator and said those votes are not going to go to the Supreme Court. We're going to sit down and count the vote now and make sure the proper person wins. And then once they voted, and then he could said, look, you guys need to remove this nonsense that the immunity that the Supreme Court gave president, and for this not to happen again. Okay, so this is the way that I see it. All right, Trump is asking for it, but look who we have now. Before he leaves, he could just go and do that. But anyway, the whole point is the mainstream media, no matter which way, social media and all of that, they are for, they don't want law and order to happen. When good information is being shown, is being displayed, they suppress that. Okay, Midas Touch, you have lawyers, professionals who knows the law are doing their things on social media. There's TikTok who block them. Okay, and TikTok is a Chinese thing, from my understanding. Let me look it up before I go to the next tweet. So there it is here. I wrote who on TikTok. TikTok is owned by ByteDance, a private global company founded by Chinese entrepreneurs. According to TikTok, about 60% of the parent company is owned by global institutional investors, 20% by the company's founders, and 20% by employees. The app CEO is Xu, a Singaporean businessman. Okay, so that's that. Let's go to the next tweet. And I think this was the tweet, and then for some reason I mentioned TikTok and I went on. All right, next tweet. By rejecting her title, they attempt to deny the legitimacy of her position and by extension the presence of diversity within the royal family. Article, why racists bark at the name Princess Meghan. That's a word press. I don't know who's that, but that's a good discussion, but that's that. Let me leave that alone. Let's go to the next tweet. Oh my God, I'm already an hour. So this probably going to be 2 videos. There's going to be part 1 and part 2. I have 2 tweets left. Alright, so there's this here. I'm not gonna lie, exile life looked damn good on you, Prince Harry. Harry is home with his wife, Princess Meghan, their 2 kids and pets animals who's vexed. Okay, Harry, you one lucky man to be in self-imposed exile with this beautiful, pointing down here, and living your best independent life. I think I responded to it. Okay, so this picture here, the same thing that I share with you. They didn't expect this for him. They wanted them to be miserable, begging for money, trying to go back into the institution. All right, so that's that. Let's read the comment. There's me here. Let's pause that GIF. Okay, UK government, in my opinion, is working toward making the leftovers to obtain similar lifestyle without taxpayers funded. This lifestyle is not for lazy people. Let's see how that's going to play out. The Sussexes tried to help them from getting to this point. Now Harry and Meghan are the blueprint for leftovers. If you get what I'm saying here, is that the government is trying to pretty much remove the royal family from the position that they're, in other words, abolish the monarchy. That's it. Okay, to abolish them. Now they're gonna be, Harry and Meghan are the blueprint for the royal family. If they abolish them and they're complaining, oh, we can do this, we can do that, the government can say, look at Harry and Meghan, you kick them out. We're not helping them one bit. They're not paying for their securities. They're not doing all of that. So your ass gonna follow them and do the same thing on your own. All right, 100% thumbs up. God always will protect his children. Okay, so that's that. Let's go to the next tweet. One more after this. Let's pause. What's this about? Okay. Remember when Meghan Markle brought her all-American work ethic to the royal family? This Northwestern grad hit the ground running and was prepared to work. Okay, 1 minute and 19 seconds. That's when she was in, I think Australia. Not Australia, South Africa. And where she said something, oh, I miss him so much. This kind of thing. Miss Harry. All right, let's listen.
Woman.
Being a part of this family and the platform that comes with that is an incredible responsibility that I take really seriously.
I think the way Meghan tried to work in the palace didn't fit in with how other members of the royal family worked. I know aides who have one meeting a month with their principals. Harry and Meghan were popping in and out of the office almost every day.
Okay, we could compare this with the Washington Post thing that at the beginning of this video, maybe part 1, because I did it right at the beginning of the recording and I might have 2 parts to it. With Kamala Harris, let me go look for it to share with you. Oh, as a matter of fact, I have the Washington Post here. I'll put the link on this part of the recording as well, where Washington Post is comparing Kamala with Meghan. I think I didn't read the article, it's too long. Is that Kamala Harris reads everything that they put on her desk, so she can prepare. So this pretty much explains this is why they're comparing with Meghan, and these people then like Meghan for doing that, coming in and checking up on them, because if she wants things to be done and those people are employees and she wants things to be done, there's a time frame of things, and they didn't like it, and this is why they were bad-mouthing her and probably call her the bullying kind of thing. Even though there was an investigation, they never put that public. Okay, and you could see that few moments she was over there and the things that she had worked on, how successful they are, the cookbook, the smart works, and she was at that time, what is it, for the dog, for was it animal shelter? I don't remember. Is it Mayu or something like that? So everything that she was working on became very successful. How do you think this became successful? Because there was human being behind it. Things were being done. She had a vision and direct her employees to work toward that vision. So they did not like that. And this is the thing with the other ones, the left behinders. They just tell the people, this is what I want. And then the people just, I don't know, the 9 to 12 people.
Yeah, I think there's another factor here too, that Meghan is a very professional woman, and she's very American in that way. And the male-dominated culture of the royal household doesn't like the kind of terms that they would use there, pushy and pushy American. They don't like pushy Americans, meaning that they don't like professional people who work hard. And a lot of the Debbie kind of girls who get to work inside the palace work from about 9 to 12 and then take the rest of the day off. And Meghan was very impatient with that. She wanted to see a new work ethic, maybe a work ethic as strong as the Queen's herself.
They go to the office and who knows what they do. And the other ones who have the idea never come and check on them. They just want the finished product to be handed to them and then be praised for and go cut ribbons. But that's not the way things work. You have to work on the thing, like Harry have said, I think in the Obama Foundation. You have to be involved. You have to be hands-on.
More than just name association, more direct action and involvement. So do you feel you're more hands-on? Is that fair to say?
I think in today's world you have to be. I think you have to be much more hands-on, and also.
Why? I mean, why do you have to be? You could have done it the same way. You could have had 200 charities and been a patron of them. I mean, no one would have thought any different.
No, but if you end up working individually for, let's say, 200 charities, in today's world, I think that kind of dilutes the impact that you can have. What our foundation is all about and what our platform is all about is encouraging people to come together, to work together, so that there's less competition. So I think without question, I mean, I've been a pessimist many times because of the work that we end up doing. You can be surrounded by negativity sometimes. Say yes to becoming patron of a charity that we believe in and that we're incredibly passionate about. But I think in today's world, you have to be involved with things that make sense to where your passions lie, rather than potentially turning up to a charity once a year. To do the work and things that you're passionate about. All right, so that's that. Let me move it back slightly.
Popping in and out of the office almost every day for briefings and updates.
I think they felt that she'd come in and, kind of be a sleepy little royal. But Meghan was like, no, I need to know the people, the places, I'm going to talk to people, I need to know nationalities, I need to know languages.
There have been reports that she comes to meetings with tons of questions and binders, that she does the work ahead of time.
She's aggressively emailing her staff at 6 in the morning. She couldn't do anything right.
Now, if every American got in trouble because they sent emails too early in the morning, I'm like, isn't that what you're supposed to do?
Okay, so this is the thing that Washington Post is comparing Kamala Harris with. I'm glad the squad break this. I completely forgot about that. I need to record this by itself.
Women don't need to find a voice. They have a voice. They need to feel empowered to use it, and people need to be encouraged to listen.
Suddenly.
And this is the part where I've always said where the animosity started. It raised the radar of the two lazies that were next to her. It raised the radar, bam, and they had to find a way to start going the opposite way of her. All right, so let's continue.
That was her hard work and her perseverance was being turned into a problem for the royal family.
I cannot believe it's 2020 and we're still faulting women for being ambitious.
Now an absolutely wonderful queen in waiting. She was incubated into being a princess. She's learned never say anything, always smile, always have lovely hair. Yeah.
That's it. That's it. This is what they want her to do. And then even if she was still doing that, guess what? They will still find something to say about her. Look at, was it maybe 2 days ago, I was recording something where the GB News, oh my God, it was so painful to listen to these people, but that's what the conversation the squad were talking about, and I had to share it with you. Where American Riviera, I still don't know what the problem is. Truly the problem with, what's that? Oh my God. Trademark. What's the problem with the trademark? But it was rejected. It was sent back to them. I don't know. Similar to Archwell, right? When Archwell was being trademarked and things like that, there were some issues. They sent it back to her, and then they had to, should I say them, Harry and Meghan, and they had to fix some stuff. So maybe it's almost the same thing. So what GB News were saying, they started putting her down. She was incompetent for somebody like her. She should know all of this. She should all of that. So maybe they just, I don't know. Like I said, if I knew exactly what was the issue with the trademark company, maybe I have something to say. But the point for bringing this up is the royal rats were already, downgrade her, minimize her potentials and all of that. No matter what she does. All right. She's doing great. They still minimize her. Something happened with the trademark. They went even further. They still minimize her. So she just have to do what she wants to do. All right. Let's see here. So this is me here. Yes. And one of the historians in the UK said that Meghan Markle work ethic is as strong as Queen Elizabeth II. I have that clip. I'll put it right now. Oh, on the left behind royals tend to work from 9 to 12. The historian also said that Meghan Markle impatient with that kind of working hours. So yeah, I remember. Okay, anyone has that clip where the historian was saying that during one of Queen Elizabeth's funeral, it was the day that Harry, Meghan, William, and Kate did the walkabout, and Meghan looked fearful, if a deranged don't believe what I've said. Weeks after the wedding, and they were, quote, I thought she was going to hit the ground running. Bam, days later, she dropped the cookbook, and the rats were mad because they didn't get the chance to trash it first. Instant bestseller, Princess Meghan is an icon. That's a very good point. This is hilarious because Meghan is literally treating this like any corporate American executive or sponsor would, that will literally her role in these British organization. Yet she's being told it's too much by the lazies. No wonder they couldn't handle her presence. She brought accountability. There's that. Meghan was too accomplished for that God-forsaken family. It was a privilege for them to have her. Thank God Meghan knew her worth and left the toxicity. Well, let's just say William pushed them out. Okay, William pushed them out. Let's be clear about that. The employees didn't have the stamina. Yes, we do. They couldn't handle exceptional. They lost our game. And I remember during their wedding, there were reporters interviewing people on the street saying that it's their gain that they have Meghan and all of that. But look at this. The royal family said, nope, we don't want her. All right. I've worked with American women. Their work ethic is off the scale. I can see why people will complain when they're not used to it, but respect where respect is due. Okay, so that's that. Let's go to the next tweet, and this is my last one. Okay. All right, so there's that here. Forehead kiss. How these men love their wives. Love wins. I thought I shared this. There's Harry and Meghan in Colombia. I think that was in Colombia. Yeah. And there's the Supreme Court Justice Khadija Jackson with her husband. Oh my God, the stories how they met in school and all of that. And when he said, "I choose you," when he was bringing her to meet his parents, and she was worrying about him because she says she grew up in the South, right? She know about the racist mindset, and his grandmother, I believe she said, had promised him that she will pay for his schooling. So when he brought her to meet his family, she was afraid for him to not get that support because college tuition is very expensive. All right, so yeah, so that's that. It's in one of my videos. If you've watched all of my videos, you've probably seen that video because I did share it. All right, so there's Kamala Harris with Doug, her husband. What's his name? Emhoff. Is that the last name? Emhoff. Okay, and I think one of the things that I saw with each of these images, they both on the same like angle. I think this is what I wrote here. Okay, the same exact angle on all three. Yep, there's that same side. Okay, I'm just saying. All right, so there's that. When love is enough, love wins. I love these pictures. Thanks for sharing them. Soulmates. Okay, so that's that. Please take a moment to subscribe. Okay, I need to work on this later because I just uploaded it. Okay, let's go in the background. I want to share the background of my channel, that is. Okay, please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. And this video will have 2 parts because I'm an hour and 30 minutes. So check part 1 and this is part 2. That's it. Thank you for watching, and may God continue to bless Harry and Meghan, everything that they do, and always protection for all of them, including all the Sussex squad. Okay.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life. You are all in this together, and if I may speak personally, we are all in this together, because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better.